Girl, girl. I've been out of town. I was at Sundance. I was at the Sundance Film Festival, which is like this was my second year going. I went last year, and I think I'm gonna go again next year. It's just like fun. Like I love movies, and Sundance is so fun, and you get to like see fucking. You just get to see cool films, and it's cool. I saw a lot of good movies. The last movie I saw was fucking this movie called See You When I See You. It was directed by Jay Duplass. Is that how you say it? Mark and Jake Duplass, the brother. Bitch, I saw this movie at 8:30 in the morning. When I tell you everybody was crying, bitch. There was at one point in this film where all you heard in the theater was oh, it was very good. It was very good. I had a good Sundance. But while I was at Sundance, uh Amy Klobuchar announced that she is running for governor of Minnesota. I did. I saw Ta-Nehisi Coates. I saw Ta-Nehisi Coates at Sundance. Like at one point, if you've ever been to Sundance, like in Park City, I was at the Library Center Theater, which I like most of the movies I saw this year at Sundance were at Library. I don't know why. But I look at one point, so like I'm sitting I was probably like from the front, I was probably like 4 or 5 rows back. And at one point, I was like, "Shit, is Ta-Nehisi gonna be here?" Because he was like one of the movie I saw, the documentary I saw, "When a Witness Recants," was fantastic. I'm not sure if he was an executive producer or how he collaborated with the director in some way, and I was like, "Shit, is he gonna be here?" I don't know. And then like toward the end of the movie, while it was still dark, I look up, so like we're sitting 4 or 5 rows back. We're sitting on the end, like Patrice is in the aisle seat, and I'm next to her. And I look up, and it's still dark, but I'm like, that's fucking Ta-Nehisi Coates. Oh my god! Ah! And I started like, I didn't meet him because that man, he seemed overstimulated. Like somebody asked him a question, like they did a Q&A afterward, and they asked him a question. He was like, he was like, "I've seen too much. I've been talking too much. I don't have nothing to say," and so it was fine. But I did see him. Yes. So while I was at Sundance, Amy Klobuchar announced that she is running for governor of Minnesota. Aren't we going through enough? Aren't we going through enough? Amy Klobuchar. And again, it's not surprising. She has been wanting, she has been wanting to announce this run for the last couple of weeks, but she couldn't. And she couldn't announce it because Renee Good got killed, and then the uproar after that, and then she was like teasing. She was like, at first it was just like, oh, she's exploring a run, and then it was, oh, she's filed the paperwork necessary as she's considering a run. It's like, girl, you're running. And then Alex Preddy got killed, and and you can't announce, like, it's like, now's not the time, Amy, you can't announce. So like she had to wait, and then eventually so like I'm not surprised that she ran or that she is running. And I wasn't surprised by the announcement. It was just like waiting for the announcement, but I saw it at Sundance, and I haven't been able to like react to it because I got back home on Friday night, like probably like 8 or 9 o'clock on Fridays when I got back, and then I have a friend in town who's visiting, and they're staying with us, so I had to like get stuff ready, so whatever. And like, that is the best that the Minnesota Democratic Party has is Amy Klobuchar. That is the best. The best you have going is Amy, whatever the fuck her middle name is, Klobuchar. I'm gonna call her Amy APAC Klobuchar. That's the best you've got. My God, on today. Now, um, part of this problem is that Melissa Hortman was murdered. That's part of the problem here, right? because you took out, like, you had ripped away from you somebody that was on your bench that would have been a good option. So we can't underestimate the how the murder of Melissa Hortman is impacting this race, right? But like, and again, I don't like Amy Klobuchar as a candidate, and I haven't seen anybody actually offer a good reason why Amy Klobuchar no, I've not seen anybody offer a reason other than she can win as a reason why Amy Klobuchar should be running. And why it's so frustrating, why it's so no, fuck being, someone in the chat just said being overly critical. Y'all aren't critical enough. That's the thing that pisses me off. Y'all motherfuckers aren't critical enough. And I'm sorry, I know, I'm sorry. You know what? Now hold on a second, Wolfcard. I had a very big reaction. I'm sorry. I am okay. Let's talk about the context in which I'm coming to this conversation. I have my period right now. Okay. I have my period right now. So that's already bad enough. Do you know what happened to me this morning? For the first time in my life, do you know what happened to me this morning? I broke a chair at a restaurant. And I didn't break it because, like, I'm fat. Like, I am fat, but that's not how I broke. I broke it because, like, I moved it. I was getting up and I was on the ground. So I'm not coming into this conversation with a lot of patience this morning because I've seen enough. It's also snowing. I'm fine. I'm fine. So I'm sorry, Wolf Carter. I had a very big reaction. I'm sorry. But my point still remains that y'all aren't critical enough, because the thing is, like, it's like this, like liberals have this idea that we can't be critical of Democrats because Trump is bad. And it's like, well, no, we are critical of Democrats exactly because Trump is so bad. We want you to be better because we know the options are dire and existential. We know it's bad. So we are asking you to be better so that you can beat the bad people. That's the thing that I think people think. Like, I think you think people like me I think they think that people like me criticize because we don't want you to be better. And it's like, no, I want you to be better. So that you can win. You guys think that criticism is a bad thing. I actually don't feel that way. I feel like criticism, when it is rooted in, like, truly, nope. Perfect candidates. Mind you, the perfection in question is, hey, don't support genocide. The perfection in question is, hey, don't support ICE. The perfection in question is like, hey, don't throw trans people under the bus. Is that the perfection that we are demanding? Like, it's like, y'all want us to have no, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you don't want us to have any standards. You don't want us to have any standards for these people. You don't want me to have standard. Yeah, I understand that Donald Trump is bad. Let's beat him. And how we beat him is not by giving nothing. I don't want them to have extreme positions. That's the thing. That's the thing. Mind you, the extreme position is don't support genocide. Is that an extreme chat? Is that an extreme position? Please don't support genocide. Please don't support ethnic cleansing. Please don't support the slave catchers who are out here killing people in the street. Please don't give them more money. Please don't harm trans people. Like, please don't harm trans people. Is that the extreme position? I'm dead ass serious. Is that the extreme position? I just want the people to what do you, and that's the thing, and this is why I'm critical of people like Amy Klobuchar and critical of people who support Amy Klobuchar, because it's like, what do you want Amy Klobuchar to do? If she's going to be the governor, which she probably will be, what do you want her to do? And don't tell me not be a Republican. Don't fucking tell me that it's like, well, the My Pillow guy is worse. Okay, great. What do you want Amy Klobuchar to do? What policies do you want her to support? How do you want her to protect this state and its residents from data centers? How do you want her to, like, what do you want her to do? It can't just be not be a Republican. That's the bare minimum. I want somebody who's actually going to try and fight for us and not for their corporate buddies. Great, that's great. That's not Amy Klobuchar. I'm not saying you, and I'm not saying you're supporting Amy Klobuchar, but it's like Amy Klobuchar is going to capitulate to Mayo. She's going to capitulate to Target. She's going to continue. APAC might not give her no money anymore because they don't really need state governors. What is she going to do? What is Amy Klobuchar going to do? That is the question I have. Like, that's the question that everybody should be asking. What is she going to do? What does she want to do as governor? And don't tell me fight Trump, because Tim Walz is fighting Trump right now. How is that going for us? How's Tim Walz is fighting Donald Trump? How is that going? Ask Alex Preddy how Tim Walz fighting Donald Trump is going. So, and Tim, it's fuck Tim Walz forever around here. It was already fuck Tim Walz. Why has Tim Walz not signed an eviction moratorium? Why has Tim Walz not signed an eviction moratorium? Don't tell me he's doing everything he can when people today are worried about how they're going to pay their rent this month, and he can do something about it. But you know where he has been? You know where he has been? Him and Jacob Fry on every podcast. They could take the podcast mics away. Take the podcast mics. Every interview. Ain't turned down one, child. Ain't turned down one. Ain't turned down an interview. Cameras hate to see them coming, but ain't no eviction moratorium. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, my issue with Amy Klobuchar is that Wolf Carter. You know what? Fuck you. That's actually, you know what? You're getting blocked. Because fuck you. Yeah, yeah. Again, no patience. Hayden, you're going to. Get these Ku Klux Klan members out of here. Girl, let me chill out before I get a fucking strike. Let me chill out before I get a strike. See, I just got, damn it. I got a strike. I got a strike. Oh, well, whatever. It's all in the game. Yeah, so my thing about Amy Klobuchar is like, run her if you want to, but don't try to pretend like she's something she's not. Run her if you want to, but don't try to pretend like she is something she's not. And more than that, and again, the thing that also frustrates me is the process by which she became the candidate. Because are you telling me that there is nobody else in this state that has the qualifications and the money to run for governor? If that's the case, the Minnesota DFL party is negligent, and you should never give them another dollar of your money. Because if you're telling me that the only person in this state who could mount a campaign for governor, there's only we have one person on our bench, that's negligence. That's negligent. That's negligent. I mean, again, I will say, the loss of Melissa Hortman is looming large, looming very large in this moment, and so I can't underestimate how her murder has impacted this governor's race. But like, Um, yeah, I just like it is so frustrating that, and this question, people keep asking me this question and it's actually pissing me off. People are like, well, who do you want to run for governor? And I know you mean well. I know you mean well, but here's why I want people to stop asking me that question. Because, like, it's not about a person. I don't care who the person is. It's not, I don't care about the person. I care about the fact that nobody else is in a position that nobody else feels like they can do so because the DFL has either discouraged people from doing so or has not prepared people for the possibility of doing so. That's the thing that I'm frustrated by. That like um um that there is no infrastructure other than running a 65-year-old establishment Democrat. That is the frustrating part to me. I have Amy Klobuchar's age, right? Let me make sure I'm not lying about that. Yes, she is 65. That's the part that I find frustrating. So the best you have is a 65-year-old establishment Democrat who's been in Washington for 2 decades. Ken Martin, and this is Ken Martin's fault. The same person who didn't release the autopsy. This is Ken Martin's fault. Okay, Ken Martin. Because why are Minnesota Democrats in this position? Where the only option they have is Amy Klobuchar. No. Why are they in the position? And again, Melissa Hortman, I know. Melissa Hortman, I know. Um, I'm blocking you, Yad. So fuck off. You'll never know the answer to that question. Um, um, um. Yeah, yeah. Amy Klobuchar is not a good candidate, and she'll probably still win. But if people don't want to vote for her, because I cannot sit here in good conscience and tell you that I will vote for Amy Klobuchar on today. I'm not saying I won't vote for her, but I'm not telling you that I will. And if people don't want to, and she probably will still win. And again, I think Amy Klobuchar will win because that's the other thing that pisses me off so bad about this is that like the Democrats are actually in a strong position. Like you would literally think that the Minnesota Democratic Party is weak and doesn't win the way that they be moving and the way that their voters be talking. You would be remiss for thinking that because these motherfuckers be acting like they losing. They got the governorship, both of the Senate seats, control of the House. Is it? No, is it the House? I always mess this up. The legislature, they have the control of one house of the legislature and it's tied in the other. They have half the congressional delegation, and you have citizens out in the street who are putting their bodies on the line to fight a federal agency, and the best you can give them is Amy fucking Klobuchar. Why are y'all acting like the Minnesota Democratic Party is acting like it's weak? The Republicans haven't won statewide since what, 2008 or 2006? I can't remember which one it is. They have not won statewide in 2 decades. And if you were worried that they were strong in the this election season, the past month has been horrible for the Minnesota Republican Party. Have we like they're one of their leading candidates for governor dropped out of the race last week, and because he was like, it's real spooky and scary over here. They're letting, I don't know what they do, and I can't do this no more. Dropped out of the race. Their most competitive candidate is Lisa DeMuth, a black Republican. That is the best they've got over there. Why are you acting weak? Why are you acting weak? I don't understand. It's like being in a position. It's like being in a position. It's like running a race and you're ahead. You're literally miles ahead of your opponent, but you're like, oh my God, what if they beat me? What if I gotta start? And then you start doing weird shit to try to like slow yourself down. It's like, you're winning. Why would you do that? You're not losing. Like somebody a couple weeks ago was like, well, we just need to start winning, so we should run Amy. What do you mean start winning? What do you what do you mean start? You are. You are. What do you mean start winning? You are winning. Amy Klobuchar will probably be the candidate. And she will probably win. That doesn't mean that it is a good choice. And a year or two from now, when Amy Klobuchar is fucking over state workers, when she's when you're pissed off at her, I want y'all to remember this moment. Sim- I 2 years from now, when you feel frustrated by her, remember this moment, because this didn't have to happen this way. And also, it's also frustrating. My wife is calling me. I can't answer the phone though. Um, um, I'm a texter. Um, yeah, two years from now. Uh, can you elaborate on her getting over on state worker? Yeah, the same way that Tim Walz has been doing. Tim Walz, um, they tried to Tim Walz and his administration this year during contract negotiations tried to radically raise, like dramatically increase the cost of state workers' healthcare insurance unilaterally. He also last year unilaterally, without consulting with unions, issued a return to office order that like without collaborating with unions into offices that are in subpar conditions. I'm talking rats, mice, roaches. Um, uh, yeah, like they're yeah. Yeah, Tim Walz sucks. He sided with Mayo over you. Like, yeah, and Amy Klobuchar is gonna be worse. Amy Klobuchar is gonna be worse. So, but that's the best they're gonna give you right now. It's not that I didn't like him as VP. It's not that I didn't. Someone asked how I felt about Tim Walz as VP. What I didn't like was that he had a reputation that he actually didn't earn. He leveraged the wins that came from a progressive legislature and from progressive folks on the ground in Minnesota to make it seem like he was more progressive than he was. He took credit for shit that he wasn't an impediment for, but that like he made it seem like, oh, it's all like we have paid family medical leave because I've done this. You ain't do shit. You signed something into law, okay, but the work to get that done, Tim Walz didn't do that. We were yes, it was hoodwink, bamboozled, take it, led astray. Ooh, someone said he tried to take credit for Melissa Hortman's achievements. Period. That's exactly what he did. He is took credit for Melissa Hortman's achievements. That is what Tim Walz has done. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel frustrated by Amy Klobuchar as a candidate, and I'm gonna continue to stay on her neck. I'm gonna continue to, and if you want to be mad about it, that's your business. But like yeah. And because how we got into this position with the shitty Democratic candidates that we have, the shitty Democratic Party that we have, is people not being critical enough. Yes, I recognize that the Republicans are bad. Okay. I recognize that the Republicans are bad. Can you be better than that though? Can you actually do something? I was thinking about this morning. The Democrats are like, we need to win the midterms. We need to win the midterms. Okay, what do you want to do? But no one has answered this question. What will the Democrats do if they win the midterms? Ooh, I'm gonna answer this question in a second. What do the Democrats want to do if and when they win the midterm? I think it's win. I think they'll win the midterms. What do they want to do? And do not tell me, oh my God, don't waste my time telling me hold Trump or hold Trump accountable. Put these people in jail. I don't care. I don't, girl, this is a white person's carceral fantasy that like Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and all of them are going to go to jail. That is carceral logic. Because I don't care. Like, for example, the agents who killed Alex Preddy, I don't care if they go to jail. I don't care. Because that's not justice. That's not justice. Why putting the individual agents responsible for killing Alex Preddy or Renee Good or Keith Porter, that doesn't do anything. Why are they in that position to begin with? Why does ICE exist to begin with? So don't waste my time, Democrats, telling me hold Trump accountable, put these, I don't give a fuck about that. What are you going to do? What policies are you going to enact to make our life, you're going to run on affordability. What policies are you going to enact to actually make our lives more affordable? What, again, someone said easy for you to say as someone who doesn't know those people personally. Do you tell me, and again, I don't want to speak for Alex Preddy, I don't want to, but do you think Alex Preddy himself or Renee Good themselves, do you think, from what I've seen of those people on video, from what I've seen, I don't think those people themselves would be satisfied with them people going to jail. Again, Alex Preddy, that second video that came out of him beating that, like, do you think that man was like, yeah, reform, individual solutions? I don't think so. I'm sure Alex Preddy would have been like, get rid of ICE. Okay, I thought, so I think people thought it was AI at first, but then like, I'm pretty sure like news sources have actually been like, no, it was like legit. Like, yeah, do you think like, if I get murdered in the street by the state, I don't give a fuck if them people go to jail or not. I'm telling you right now. Burn the system down. I don't give a fuck about those individual people. Because Jonathan Ross and the agents who killed Alex Preddy, like, so you get rid of Jonathan Ross. Okay. Then what? The system that empowered him still exists. It still exists. Yeah, so what, yeah, I want somebody to tell me, can we get an answer as to what the Democrats want to do if they win uh uh the House? I would love to know that. People ask me this all the time, and I want people to stop asking me this question. If I want to run for office? Absolutely not. And I say this as someone who one day not that long ago was interested and was like, oh, should I run for office? Is that like, no. And let me know, and you know why? Do you know why I don't want to do that? Zohran Mamdani. And I know that's going to sound weird. I don't want to run for office because of what I've seen from Zohran Mamdani. And let me tell you more. So, what was it? This week, the New York City Police Department killed a 22-year-old man who was having a mental health crisis. They shot him shot and killed him in front of his family, and then they brutalized his family. They like took their phones, they wouldn't let them see his body for like a day. It was horrible. It would like truly, it's awful. They called because their relative and their loved one was having a mental health crisis and they needed some help. and the police showed up and killed him. And do you know what Zeron did? Uh, like afterward, he tweeted. Hold on, and I want to find the tweet. He thanked the first responders. Hold on, I'm pulling up. Is it under Zeron? Is it under? Yeah, I want to find the tweet. I don't know what day it was from. Hold on. Oh, okay. I was on the wrong Twitter account. I was on his personal Twitter account, and he tweeted it from. And I'm pulling up the tweet because the words are important, unless he's deleted it, but. If people know what I'm talking about. Like, I didn't. This was like Wednesday. Yeah, this was like the other day that this happened. I'm looking for the tweet that Zeron sent out. Okay, yep. Here. It's from January 26th. Here's what it said. I've been briefed on an officer-involved shooting in Queens that occurred earlier today. The NYPD was responding to a 911 call where they encountered an individual wielding a knife. The NYPD is assessing the situation, and we are committed to keeping New Yorkers informed as we learn more. I'm grateful to the first responders who put themselves in the line each day to keep our community safe. And then hold on. And then there's a letter from the person's family sent put out a letter afterward that said, and I'm going to read it in part, we are shocked and outraged by the NYPD's treatment of our son and brother, Jabez Chakrabarti. I'm not sure how to say that, so excuse me, and our family. We called for help. We called 911 for an ambulance to provide medical attention for our son who was in emotional distress. We did not call the police. Instead of medical responders, the NYPD arrived and shot our son multiple times right in front of us. As our son was being shot, we were terrified about what happened to when Rosario. After shooting our son, the NYPD demanded we give them our phones and passwords, threatening us to comply. While our son lay shot on the floor, the NYPD acted like ICE, interrogating us on what country we were from, when we last visited, and whether our daughter was born here. We were not allowed to go to the hospital to visit our son, but instead forced to go to the precinct where NYPD officers interrogated and detained us. The NYPD treated us cruelly when we didn't even know if our son was alive. Etc., etc. Horrible shit. After all this, we saw Mayor Mamdani's statement applauding the NYPD officers that shot our son, threatening and lied to us, and kept us from seeing our son for over 24 hours. Why is and then what's pictured here is the tweet that I read to you. So that's exactly why I would never run for office, because I don't think that Zeron personally would do something like this. Zeron personally, based on what I know about him and who his parents are, he's probably a fucking abolitionist. But when you become a politician, it forces you to, you are literally, like, a month into office and this man is already running cover for the NYPD after they murdered a man having a mental health crisis. A month in. Brother, I couldn't, so I would never run for office because I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't live, if I did something like that, if I said thank you to the first responders who killed a man and then who killed a man in front of his parents and then brutalized his family afterward, I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't live with myself. No. I like looking myself in the mirror. I like looking myself in the mirror. No. No, 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 I won't do that. And I would, and you love to think it's like, well, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't do that. I'm sure Zeron didn't think he'd be doing that either. But look what he did. No. So no, I won't be running for office. I have a soul, and I would like to keep that soul intact. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I like myself, and I would like to continue liking myself. And I don't want to be sending tweets thanking the police after they kill a young man in front of his family, and then treat them cruelly and brutally. Mm-mm. No, thank you. No, thank you. Mm. I don't think it's like, I think people, I think, and I mean, I've never been a politician, so I can only assume that what happens for someone is that, like, it's sort of like a go along to get along type beat, right? Like, you're like, okay, well, if I do this, I could continue to make have a positive impact for people, right? It's like you're like weighing the pros and cons of it. You're like, um and you're like, okay, um could I do this? Could I not? Could, like, I think it's like and yeah, I think it's like a go along to get along type situation. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to, and this isn't about like, well, I don't want to sully myself and have to compromise. It's like, yeah, okay, I get compromising, right? Like, but there's compromise, and then there's uh thanking the NYPD after they kill a man. Those are different. Those are different things. I don't want. I no. No, I don't want. No. Mm-mm, no. City council would be interesting, but um, I could never, based on I could not get where I live in Minneapolis, I could not get elected in the ward that I live in. If I lived in Powderhorn, if I was like Robin Walmsley is out of what, Ward 2, over near like Dinkytown and like that, like, but where I live, I could not get elected in the ward that I live in. I'd be a radical leftist. This is a ward that votes for Jacob Fry. Yeah, the ward I live in votes heavily for Jacob Fry. Yeah. So, and also, not everybody is meant for office, and that's okay. Not everybody is meant to run for public office, and that's okay. Like, I do a really good job of talking to people about politics and like helping people understand, like, I'm really good at that. And that's a lane that's needed. There are people who need to be who are good politicians. I'm probably not that, because you know what I would do. Speaking of Erin May Quaid, you know how she had to, there's a video that's out from the other day where she had to sit next to some Republican who was talking shit and she was very diplomatic. I'm not diplomatic. I would be like, and you know what, you're racist, bitch, and you have a big back and I don't like you. And that's not that I'm not meant for that, right? Because we're actually gonna have to fight about it in the street. we're actually gonna have to worry about it, and I'm gonna call you a bitch to your face. So it's like there's not a yeah. I'm not meant for that. I'm good at other things. I'm good at other things. I'm good at other things. I'm good at this. I'm not yeah, I'm not this. So yeah, Amy Klobuchar will probably be the candidate. That's fucking annoying. And y'all gonna hear my mouth about it. Y'all prepare to be sick of me. Y'all are gonna hear my mouth about it endlessly. Y'all are going. Oh, y'all gonna be tired, and I don't care. Y'all, y'all gonna be tired. I'm gonna talk bad about Amy Klobuchar every chance I get. I'm gonna talk bad about her to her face. Don't let me meet Amy Klobuchar. Because the question, Amy, you've taken over $700,000 from APAC and millions of dollars from other corporate donors. Why do you think it's appropriate to take money from outside entities, particularly foreign governments? And why should Minnesotans trust you to have their best interest at heart? Amy, um, uh, um, what's your plan to advocate against data centers and protect the environment in Minnesota? Yeah, I'm not getting off her neck. I won't. I simply will not get off her neck. So if you're like, well, maybe they'll. I won't. I actually have a list of questions I started drafting in the airport when I was flying back from Utah that I need to that I want to write out into that I no that I'm going to write out into full sentences. I'm going to send them to her office. I'm also going to record a video on TikTok about them. I and I'm going to every and I'm actually going to commit to it now. I'm going to send the questions every week until I get an answer. Yeah, I'm not getting off her neck. So if you're like, oh, maybe I won't. I won't. If you're gonna win, okay, I'm okay. You'll win. Okay, you'll be the candidate. I'm not gonna make it easy for her. I'm not gonna make it easy for her to be. No, you're gonna answer some questions. That's the thing. I'm uncomfortable, and you should all be uncomfortable with the idea. If Tim Walz can write letters, so can no, period. Tim Walz been writing fan fiction love letters to Donald Trump for a month. Yeah. Yeah. That was funny as hell, Trina. Um, uh, fuck was I saying? Yeah, I'm about to be on. Yeah, I'm going to. Hold on, where are those questions? Because I started writing them in a. Yeah, I have a question. I want to ask her about a question about data centers. Oh, one of my other questions is if voters in Minnesota give the DFL another trifecta, what specific policies would you like to see championed, and what policies will you sign into law if elected? Um, Governor Walz continued to capitulate. Repeatedly capitulated to Mayo. What, if anything, will you do differently? Oop. Another question I have for her is in your time as Hennepin County prosecutor, you actively put black people in jail and ignored evidence to do so. What reparative efforts have you made to the black community, and how will you, if elected governor, uplift black Minnesotans? Yeah, I've got questions, Amy. Yeah, I do have some questions for you, sister. And I'm going to ask them publicly and loudly. You can be okay. You might be the Democratic candidate. You might be the governor. That doesn't mean that I don't have questions, girl. um. So yes, I had forgotten. I started writing these questions at 2:32. So I was in my layover from the airport. So I need to write those out further. Um. Uh. Yeah, make sure there's no stapler. I'm gonna ask them from afar when there's no stapler close by. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good question. I'm gonna ask her. Hold on. Let me write this down. In the past, there have been numerous reports that you have demonstrated abusive behavior toward your staff. Do you still engage in those practices? Do you still engage in those practices? If no, what help have you sought to do that? And what reparative efforts have you made to staff that you've harmed? Um, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Amy, I do have questions. Yeah. So I need to write these questions. So I need to write these questions out into full sentences because some of them are full sentences, but others are just like, oh, I had a note and a thought. Um, yeah. I have a question, sister. Um, and I'm gonna go to caucus. I'm going to caucus on Tuesday, and you know what I'm gonna be doing up in there? Making a goddamn ruckus. Making a goddamn ruckus. Uh, Amy, why didn't period? Why didn't you prosecute Derek Chauvin? Ah, sister, because she had the opportunity to do so when she was Hennepin County attorney and didn't, and didn't. And then what did Derek Chauvin do? Okay, yeah. Okay, but you put black people in jail, but not Derek. When she was Hennepin County attorney, she did not prosecute a single instance of police brutality. Not a single one, including Derek Chauvin. Did not prosecute. Did not do it. So, but I'm not supposed to criticize her because Republicans are bad. Yeah, okay, I understand that. She's also not great. I can't. She's not great either, and I get to ask her to be better, and I get to demand that she does better. I get her campaign platform, and she ran for Hennepin County attorney was more convictions, more prosecution, more convictions. She loves putting niggas in jail. Loves it. She loves to do that. And but I can't ask her no questions. Yeah, that's why primaries are important. And that's why primaries are important. But we're not probably gonna get one because if somebody else was running, they would have already announced. And at this point, everybody has lined up behind her. Ilhan has endorsed her. Um, Peggy has nobody is running against that lady. They're not running. It's Amy Klobuchar will be the candidate. She absolutely will be the candidate. Like, and it will absolutely be Amy Klobuchar. But that doesn't mean that I can't complain about it, and I will continue to complain about it. But I've also made Amy Klobuchar will be the Democratic candidate for uh, the Minnesota gubernatorial election in 2026. Peggy and who do I think will win between Peggy Flanagan and Angie Craig? I can't tell right now. I can't tell right now. I don't think I have an answer right now. I would what is really curious for them though, and I'm sure both of them are thinking about this, um, is that Jacob Fry. I see what Jacob Fry is doing. I see what Jacob Fry is doing. I know what Jacob Fry is doing. He is Jacob Fry. So here's I don't think if Angie Craig, if not Angie Craig, Amy Klobuchar wins the governor's race, which I think she will. I think she might only serve one term. Maybe I'm wrong, but she'll be 70. She'll be 70, maybe even 71, but when her term is up. And then if she runs for a second term, the bitch will be 75. And I mean, this is the Democrats. They love running. This is a gerontocracy girl, so, but like if let's assume Amy Klobuchar only runs for one term, Jacob Fry absolutely wants to run for governor because his term will be up as mayor. He'll have served 12 years as the mayor of Minneapolis during two major crises. So he's made a national name for himself. He is doing all these interviews because he loves attention, and it's good attention that he thinks will help him win the governor's race. So, um, um, shit, there was a question here I was gonna, so yeah, but the race between Angie Craig and Peggy Flanagan, I'm sure they're both really curious, because if Amy Klobuchar wins, then her seat will need to be filled on the Senate, and she will get to appoint someone to her Senate seat. And so I'm sure that for Peggy Flanagan and Angie Craig, they're like doing a calculus to be like, well, if I don't win this primary, I could still get appointed to the Senate. So like, I'm sure they still want to win this seat outright, and they're going to continue to do that, but it's less pressure because there will likely also be another open Senate seat that one of them can just get appointed to. Now, will Amy Klobuchar actually appoint one of them, or will she appoint? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure they are trying to curry favor with her in order to make that true. Because I saw Peggy Flanagan came out very quick saying, Amy Klobuchar, that's my girl. Governor. So, because you know that if you don't win this race, there is a likelihood that you could still get in. And getting into the Senate as a consolation prize is not a hey, I would take that. I would take that as a consolation prize. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's how Tina Smith got in. Don't nobody care if you get there on consolation or you get, so you still get there. Yes, Craig's seat is up for election, and she's just vacating her. Like, she just, like, whether she wins or loses, like, she won't be in that seat anymore. So yeah, I just feel disappointed. I'm like, the Minnesota Democratic Party is such a disappointment to. It's such a disappointment to the on the ground work that Minnesotans have been doing. It's such a disappointment. It's such a disappointment. It's a goddamn disappointment. You know, ICE is still here. They was out fucking tear gassing people at Powderhorn Park this morning. I hope none of us were fooled by that Tom Homan bullshit, because it was bullshit. Tom Homan is worse. He's just quieter about it. He's quieter than Greg Bovino about it, but he's still awful. Don't let that man fool you. He wants to. Liam's home though. Hey, I saw that Liam came home this morning though. That was one piece of positive news. Liam came home. He should have never been gone in the first goddamn place, but he is home now. I saw that, what was it? Is it Joaquin? I always mix up him and his brother. Flew back with him. Flew back with him and his dad this morning, and then like Ilhan met them at the airport. But yeah, Tom Homan is worse. Tom Homan's worse. Yeah, ICE is still here. I was a little disconnected when I was in Utah. Like, I'm not in the Signal group chat anymore. I need to get back into the Signal chat, because I know, like, it got, like, infiltrated. Did Liam's dad also get... Yes, like, his dad was also with him. Yes, he flew back here with his dad. What was I saying? But yeah, ICE is still terrorizing people. I saw that video from, St. Peter, maybe yesterday. They rolled up on this woman. I don't know where St. Peter is in relation to Minnesota, but they rolled up on this woman, cut her car off, dragged her out of the car, and you can see there's they hopped out of their car with guns, pointing guns at this woman who was following them. She was like just like observing them, jumped out their car, pointing guns at her, and dragged her out of the car. And the only reason she didn't get detained because like her husband and like the local like sheriff like stopped them. But like, yeah, they're still out here. They were literally tear gassing people at like 9 o'clock this morning at Powderhorn. Yeah. Do you think Omar Fateh, should insert himself for a seat on the Hill? May, I don't know. I don't know. I think that like I don't know how much the Minnesota DFL party fucks with Omar Fate. And I don't say that it, like he's not done anything wrong, but like, and I genuinely say like I don't know because I'm like, uh, he not like them. Like, what do Omar Fate and Amy Klobuchar have in common? I am really curious to see who she will choose as a running mate for lieutenant governor. That will be really interesting to see. It won't really matter. It doesn't really matter who the lieutenant governor is, but um, I'm really curious to see who will be the lieutenant governor. Can ICE take someone who is under commitment at St. Pierre? I have no idea. Girl, they don't know, and they just be doing anything. Can they do anything? Why is, no, the question nobody has asked is, why is ICE detaining U.S. citizens? Why? Can is not the question. Will they? Absolutely. They'll do whatever they want to do. Why is immigration and customs enforcement arresting U.S. citizens? Why are they arresting anybody? Let's start there. Why is ICE detaining Native Americans? Girl, them people do whatever they want to do. They'll do whatever they want to do. They don't care. They don't care. Can they? Girl. Can they kill people? Can they execute a man in the street who they've disarmed of their weapon? Can they shoot a woman who's trying to just drive away slowly? You would think no, but you know. They've just been holding people for like just holding people and then releasing them because they're not, why like, yeah. Okay, there's two more things I want to talk about. So the first thing is like I've been seeing this very funny to me conversation, and it started with this some like wellness influencer on TikTok, like, because people are obviously asking creators that they follow, like, hey, what do you think? What's going on? You Trump? You MAGA? What y'all got going on? And so they're asking people like, to speak out, whatever. And this one like gym creator was like, well, I'm not a political account, and the truth is, you guys don't want my opinion. You want me to say what you want me to think, bro. And it's like, shut up. Oh my god. That's the thing. This is actually a thing. I was thinking this last night. People like Nick Fuentes don't actually bother me. Nick Fuentes don't bother me at all. Because Nick Fuentes tells you exactly, oh, Tony, brother, I saw that. I said, ooh, sister, ooh, yikes. What are we doing? Ooh, what are we doing, Tony? Ooh, that was a bad look for you, brother. It's like, yeah, Nick Fuentes don't bother me. Nick Fuentes will tell you exactly what he thinks and what he feels. Cool. I find that abhorrent, but cool, I know where you stand. But when you're like, well, you just want me to tell you what I think. No, tell me what, that's the thing. If you support Donald Trump, if you support ICE, just say that. Just say that. Just say, hey, I don't really care about all this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just say that. That's the part that bothers me. Like, y'all want to vote for Donald Trump, be a boring dude, but then you don't want nobody to judge you about it. And see, when you believe something for real, you got to be willing to stand on it. I say exactly what my beliefs are, what I think, and Like, I'm not ambiguous, and I understand that that is going to have an impact. People are not, some people might not like me, might not fuck with me, I might lose opportunities. And I'm like, okay, yeah, and I'm okay with that because I'm like, that's what I believe and I'm standing on that. Y'all don't want to do that though. You want to be like, well, I want to do stuff, but then I don't want you to feel any way about it. Well, that's not your choice. That's not your choice. When Tony said I'm not political, gross, gross. You don't think food is Tony? You don't think food is political? To, the food. You don't think food is political, Tony? Tony Chu, I think is that how, he's a large food creator in Minneapolis. Like I see a lot of his content around like the state fair, like cause he always be like and he's like and mind you, not only is he a food creator, he's Asian. I don't know like what his ethnic background is, but he is Asian. He's not even a white man. This ain't even a white man we're talking about. This man is Asian. Like, you don't think food is political? And I get, and like his point, Tony's point was he's Vietnamese. Okay, his point was like I'm afraid I don't want to like draw attention to myself. Oh, Jen, Jen, I'm gonna ask you about this when we go to dinner tonight. Jen. um, shit. What was I saying? It's Tony's part of his point was like, oh, I don't want to like draw attention to like my family or me, like because he was like, people in my family are vulnerable, and I'm like, oh, I totally get that, that makes sense. But then he was like, and I'm not political, I don't want to like, and so it was like it more felt like it's like, I think part of it is like he didn't like, yes, there is like some concern about his and his family's safety, which is totally valid, but it felt like more of it was like, I don't know why you guys are asking that about me, this isn't like what I do, so what? And I'm like, gross, gross. And it's like, yeah, just say it, because if what you want to say is, I don't really care about this. Honestly, I don't really have an opinion. Like, it sucks, but I don't really care. Then just say that. But you don't want to say that because you know that you shouldn't, because you know that it's shameful, because you feel ashamed, and because you don't want people to judge you. But the thing is, I don't feel ashamed about anything that I believe. I don't feel shame. I don't feel if you ask me who I voted for, I'll be like, yeah, I voted for this person, and then I don't have because I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not worried about being judged about that because I act in a way that I can feel good about. I live my life in such a way that I can feel good about it. So if somebody asks you who you voted for or what you think about ICE, and you're like, well, I don't want you to judge me, you're gonna get mad. Why are you living your life that way then? That, ugh. That's a question for you, sister. That's a question for you. And yeah, people do want to know, like, if you're a content creator, yeah, if people watch your content and like they do want to know that you are not a Nazi. They want to know that. And if you are a Nazi, hey, that's your business. Nick Fuentes he has an audience. Okay, great. That's great. But you don't want to stand on it. That's the problem. You don't want to stand on it. And that's, ooh. Corporations, um, corporations have no soul. And I'm not offering anything new. I'm not offering anything new, but the corporations in the Twin Cities, you should never patronize these places again. I love going to basketball games. I love basketball. I don't know if I can ever go to a Lynx or I don't know if I can ever. The Timberwolves, they had a stand with Minnesota. Stand with Minnesota to do what? These corporate, yeah, man. Target's letting ICE stage in their parking lots. Two Target employees, this was like 3-4 weeks ago at this point, were in a Target store, tackled, detained, two U.S. citizens, tackled and detained in a Target store, employees. Target ain't have nothing to say about that. Target ain't have nothing to say about that. Ain't have nothing to say about ICE staging in their parking lots. Ain't have nothing to say about that. Ooh, yikes. Yeah. Did y'all see that CEO letter? Hold on. Oh my god, let me find this CEO letter. It was so bad. It was so bad. Okay, so the Minnesota okay, so this was on January 25th. The Minnesota Chamber of Commerce released a statement on behalf of 60 CEOs of Minnesota-based companies, and this includes companies like 3M, Allina Health, Ameriprise, Best Buy, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Boston Scientific, Cargill, C.H. Robinson. Is Target Ecolab? I'm pretty sure Target is here. Hold on. Hormel, General Mills is here. Yep. Mayo Clinic, the Minnesota Wild, the Vikings. Target is here. Yep. Excel. This is what this statement said. It said, the business community in Minnesota prides itself on providing leadership and solving problems to ensure a strong and vibrant state. The recent challenges. What are the recent challenges? What are the recent challenges? Do you care to name? No? Okay. The recent challenges facing our state have created widespread disruption and tragic loss of life. Whose lives were lost and who took the lives? Who? No? Okay. Nothing? Okay. For the past several weeks, representatives of Minnesota's business community have been working every day behind the scenes with federal, state, and local partners to advance real solutions. These efforts have included close communication with the governor, the White House, the vice president, and local mayors. There are ways for us to come together to foster project. With yesterday's tragic news, what is the tragic news? What is the tragic news to which you are referring? Can you? What's the tragedy that happened? Okay, we are calling for an immediate de-escalation of tensions. Who do you want to de-escalate? Who can do the de-escalation? What needs to be de-escalated specifically? Nothing? Okay. And for state, local, and federal officials to work together to find real solutions. We've been working for generations to build a strong and vibrant community, a strong and vibrant state here in Minnesota, and will do so in the months and years with equal and even greater commitment. In this difficult time for our community, we call for peace and focused cooperation among local, state, and federal leaders to achieve a swift and durable solution that enables families, businesses, our employees, and communities across Minnesota to resume our work to build a bright and prosperous future. Yeah. 2 people were murdered. 2 people were murdered by the state. Two people were murdered by the state. Children have been kidnapped. People brutalized in the street. The federal government is waging war on a state. It's all bad. Bad things are happening. Those are recent challenges. Are there? I don't know what So this is what they think of you. This is what they think about us. They said, "Girl," and mind you, this was on January 25th. So what happened is that this came out the day after Alex Preddy was murdered. So they waited for two people to be killed, numerous atrocities until they put this. This is what. Yeah, yeah, brother. Um, this is someone just said Minnesota is showing serious signs of turning red. What are the signs? And that's the thing. I actually don't agree with that. What are the signs? The one of the leading candidates for the Republican on the Republican gubernatorial election dropped out of the race because it was so spooky. What are the signs? What are the signs? People are in the street fighting ice. What are the signs? Are the sign if the signs are your fear, okay, I understand. That's fear. That's not fact. That's not that's uh, um someone else is talking about Sundance. I someone else talking about Sundance, so I'm going to go back to talk about that for a second. I cannot recommend enough going. Now, it will look different in the future because it is moving away from Park City and it will now be in Boulder. But I think Patrice and I are going to go again next year. It is so cool to be able to like see films that haven't yet been released. You don't know if they will be released. Like I've seen movies at Sundance that have not gotten wider release, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll never see it again. I don't know. It is like it's just like if you love movie and you love film and you love the process, you love just like thinking about films and art. It's just like it is just such a cool experience, and like it's not cheap. Like the tickets for each movie cost $35, so it is not cheap. But um um it is it's a lot of fun. I don't know. It's just like I saw such cool movies this year. I saw this movie called Wicker with Olivia Colman that was like fun. I saw this movie called I was talking about it at the beginning. It's called See You When I See You that broke my fucking heart. What's the energy of the event? Well, it's like what's the setup? So the setup is like again, and this setup will be different because it is moving away from Park City, Utah, where it has been for its inception, and it will now be in Boulder, Colorado. But what it is like there are multiple um there are thousands of people there. I don't know. There are different theaters around the city, and they're big theaters. Like they're vary in size, but they're big theaters. Um, and I saw 10 or 11. And so you hop around to different theaters. So it's like there's like showing like the schedule is released ahead of time, and so you get tickets to what you can, and and you can wait list for some tickets too, and then you're just like going around to different theaters seeing films. Like it's like there's so it's like and some of them are just like normal movie theaters. Like you're just like in a normal movie theater. Like one is at like a library, like the public library has like a large screening room. Um and yeah, it's just like a lot of um uh and everyone's just like it's the energy is really cool because like everyone is just like everyone who is there is either like like a lot of people just like straight up work in the film industry. um they just straight up work in the film industry, or like they're just people who are just there who love movies. um and then they're there to like watch the movies. Park City is a good city for it because it's like not very big. They have a free they have two free bus systems, so like we just took a lot of like buses. um you just like take free buses like around and they drop you off at the theater and then you're just like there. Um, you're just like in the mountains watching movies. Like, and it's like you can just go like it's just open to the public. You buy you can if you get a ticket, which you can. You're just like, okay, I just bought a ticket. I went and saw a Sundance movie. um, um, yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. I did see inklings of Josh Shapiro talking about Oh, I accidentally sent somebody an invite. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Um, your partner hates movies. How do you hate movies? That's like they hate music. How do you you don't like any movie? They don't like any movie? How does that like you don't like movies? Okay. All right. Well, I get. How, nigga hate a movie. Lord, hate movies, child. I think I think it's his ADHD. Okay. Well, you know it. All right. Well, hold on. you know. Uh. Yeah. Movies are fun. Yeah. Movies are fun. Um. Favorite movie of 2025. Ooh. Shit. What did I see? Oh my god. I watch movies all the time. Hold on. What were the? I also watch all of the Oscar films every year. I'm also trying to think about what came out. It's always like, oh, what came out last year? Oh my god, one of my cats is downstairs screaming. Oh my god, it was so fucking loud. Hold on. Sinners. I was gonna say Sinners. Yeah, Sinners was great. Um, Let me see. I don't know what the No, that wasn't last year. It's always hard because I'm like, okay, it's currently 2026. What came out the previous year? Yeah, it's probably Sinners. Like, it's probably. Um, what do you want to win Best Picture this year? So Patrice and I every year always watch all the Best Picture nominees, and thus far we've watched Bugonia, we watched Frankenstein right before we left. I've seen One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. So I've seen five of the one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So there's 10 nominees. I've seen five of them, and we're gonna watch the rest of them. I think the best. It's hard to say because I haven't seen half the movies. Of the movies I have watched, so Bugonia, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. I'd give it to Sinners. I'll give it to Sinners because I'm here for everybody black. But I think I maybe like Bugonia a little bit better. But I'll give it to Sinners. Cause y'all not about to I'm not about to be a coon in here for not saying Sinners. So I'm gonna say Sinners. But Bugonia is a teeny bit better. Last year that Anora won Best Picture is crazy. It was crazy then, it looks even crazier now. Anora, when Conclave is right there and you gave it to Anora. And this is not anti-sex work. I'm not being Anora was good. That's fine. I'm not anti-sex work. I love the sex work girlies. But Anora, it was fine. She also won. She won Best Actress for that too? Was that Maggie Madison won Best? Who was she up against last year? Hold on. Maybe I need to rewatch Anora. Hold on. She was up against Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Gascon for Amelia Perez, which was weird, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres. Fernanda Torres should have no. Of these, Mikey Madison did not, even Demi Moore in The Substance was good. Okay, I don't need to Why am I relitigating Best Actress from 2024? Don't make me relitigate Best Actress from 2025. Hold on. From 2016. Do we want to talk about Best Actress in 2016 and how it gave us JD Vance? No, I'm not going to do it today. Emma Stone. Emma Stone won for La La Land in 2016, and Amy Adams wasn't even nominated for Arrival. Y'all gonna quit playing with Amy. Y'all gonna quit playing with her. Y'all gonna quit playing with my sister Amy. Wait, Jessica Chastain won Best Actress in 20... Girl, what was that in 2021? But Jessica Chastain has an Oscar? Girl, how did I not remember this? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the list in front of me, and Jessica Chastain won for The Eyes of Tammy Faye Baker in 2021. Damn, did I not watch that year? Who did she beat? She beat Kristen Stewart, Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, Olivia Colman. Okay, maybe I need to watch Eyes of Tammy. I don't think I ever saw that. Arrival didn't. Don't get me started on how these people play in Arrival's face. Arrival is one of the best. I'm not gonna get started because I know Patrice is in here and she's like, "Oh no, they're doing it again." Because I do this Arrival once a month. Once a month, I don't have Letterboxd because I feel, and here's why: because it feels like homework. It feels like homework. Why I gotta write an essay? I don't want to write an essay. I just want to watch a movie. I love it. And I should, because I watch a lot of movies. Like, I literally watch movies all the time. But I'm just like, girl, I can't be doing homework. I've not read the story that Arrival's based upon. I should, because I'm sure it's fantastic. Now I'm just looking back at like who done won Best Actress. I'm trying to remember. Just in the past, Frances McDormand. Damn, two wins in 3 years. What a run! Because she won for 3 Billboards, which was not good, and then Nomadland, which was pretty good. Okay, Emma Stone got 2. The first one is crazy. The second one I agree with. Okay. Brie Larson for Room. Room is great. Wait, she up in Carol. Yeah, Brie Larson for Room. Julianne Moore for Still Alice. My God. Oh, she was fantastic. That movie fucking broke me, dog. Kate Blanchett in Blue Jasmine. Great. Kate Blanchett, white excellence. Let's talk about a white woman I don't play about. Kate Blanchett. Yeah. Kate Blanchett, I go with her real bad. Why am I doing this? I don't know, but whatever, we hear. Jennifer Lawrence in Silver Linings Playbook, which I never saw. I don't know, that feels like a weird win. Meryl Streep for The Iron Lady. Natalie Portman for Black Swans. Sandra Bullock winning for The Blind Side. Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side. Damn, I hate that for her. Kate Winslet for The Reader. Marion Cotillard for La Vie en Rose. I didn't see that. Helen Mirren. Reese Witherspoon has a Best Actress? Reese Witherspoon? Damn, maybe I did. Reese Witherspoon, a Best Actress. Okay. Hilary Swank, $1 Million Baby. Charlize Theron for Monster. Yeah, that's a great film. Nicole Kidman for The Hour. Halle Berry for Monsters Ball. Damn, you had to give some coochie to Billy Bob Thornton to get an Oscar. Oh, I hate that for my sister. She had to fuck on Billy Bob Thornton. She deserves the Oscar just for that alone, for having to fuck on Billy Bob Thornton. Oh. Hilary Swank has 2 Oscars? Damn, yeah, she do got. Hilary Swank won the Oscar in 1999 for Boys Don't Cry. Yeah, damn. My sister Hilary Swank got 2 Oscars. Gwyneth Paltrow, Helen Hunt. Frances McDormand has 3 Oscars. You know what? Yeah. Frances McDormand be acting. That's white excellence right there. Hold on. Let me look at Best Actor. Because now I need to see. You might ask yourself, Amber, how did we get here? I don't know, but we're here and we're doing it together. Um, we're doing it together. So let's. I know now. I know Daniel Day Lewis got three of these things because Daniel Day Lewis doesn't play. Daniel Day Lewis. We got him from Sundance. That is how we got here. Daniel Day Lewis, actor. Okay, we've got Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. I did not like that film. It was that movie was like 6.5 hours and 35 seconds, minutes long. It was so long. I didn't like it. Um, and Ralph Fiennes, I like Ralph Fiennes better in Conclave. I like Ralph Fiennes better in Conclave. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. He was up against Bradley Cooper, Coleman Domingo, Paul Giamatti, and Jeffrey Wright. I didn't really like Oppenheimer. Brendan Fraser for The Whale. Okay, Will Smith for King Richard. That's where he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Anthony Hopkins for The Father. I didn't see that. Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. Okay. Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. Girl, these are some shitty wins. Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour. I didn't see that. Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea. Leonardo for The Revenant. You know what? I'll let him have that. Yep. Yep. He was up against what? Bryan Cranston, Matt Damon, Michael Fassbender. Yeah, that holds up. Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything. I didn't see that. Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyers Club. Daniel Day-Lewis for Lincoln. Yep. Okay. That's his latest win. Daniel Day-Lewis 2012. Jean Dujardin for The Artist. I didn't see that. Colin Firth. Jeff Bridges, Crazy Heart. Sean Penn for Milk. Daniel Day-Lewis for There Will Be Blood. Forrest Whitaker, The Last King of Scotland. Philip Seymour Hoffman. R.I.P. Jamie Foxx for Ray. I was just talking about the movie Ray because I hate biopics. Oh, I hate biopics. And I was saying that's what it was. I was at Sundance and I was talking to Patrice and my friend Vivek who we were hanging out with there. And I was saying I hate biopics. Oh my God, I hate them so bad. Like, especially a music biopic. Oh, boo. They're bad. I hate a music biopic. But what I said was the only exception to this is Ray. Because Ray is fantastic. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm black and so I'm biased. I might be biased here. Ray is fantastic and Jamie Foxx in Ray is fantastic. Bitch, hold on. Where is Ray streaming? I might have to write Ray sometime soon. I might gotta look at that. Because that's a good movie. Sean Penn has 2 Oscars? Yeah, he won it in 2003 for Mystic River. Damn, Sean Penn got Adrian Brody for The Pianist, Denzel Washington for Training Day, which holds up. Which also, I know people don't like that he won for Training Day because he had to play, because it's like plays into this negative stereotype of black men. I get it. But 2 things. I actually watched Training Day probably like 6 months ago. It's fantastic. And second of all, Denzel is the finest a man has ever been in Training Day. I remember when I started it and he came on the screen, I said, my God on today. Hold on. Denzel is fine. Denzel Washington in Training Day? Oh my God. Let me look at a picture right now. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Why am I always lusting after men on live? Can somebody say Denzel Washington is fine in Training Day? And so actually, I like that win. Russell Crowe for Gladiator? Did I know he went for Gladiator? Kevin Spacey, American Beauty. Roberto, Jack Nicholson, Jeffrey Rush, Nicolas Cage. These male Best Actor wins are sort of mid, but I don't know why they feel mid, but they do feel mid. Denzel Washington should have won for Flight. Flight is a fantastic film. Flight is so good. He lost to Daniel Day-Lewis playing Abraham Lincoln. Shit, that'll get you. that'll get you. Yeah, but Flight is fantastic. Yeah, Flight's good. I'm looking at this 2013 win. So Matthew McConaughey won for Dallas Buyers Club, and he beat out Chiwetel Ejiofor. How do you? I always can't pronounce his last name. Is it Ejiofor? Ejiofor, who played Solomon Northup in 12 Years a Slave. Um, he also beat out Leon. Damn, is Matthew McConaughey that good in Dallas Buyers Club? I mean, I haven't seen it, so maybe he is. I have heard good things about it. Who's up this year? So you have Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. They're giving that to Timothy Chalamet. I need us. I haven't seen Marty Supreme. I've heard that it's comparable to uh Uncut Gems. So I will see it soon, but I feel confident they're going to give this to Timothy Chalamet. They've been wanting to give this to Timothy Chalamet. He didn't, A Complete Unknown, he was nominated last year, wasn't that good. So I get why he doesn't get it. They're going to get us to Timothy Chalamet. I think, yeah. Because Leonardo already got his, Leonardo already got his. It would be weird, I think, Michael B. Jordan, okay. Are we ready to? Can we have a conversation? Y'all not gonna jump me? Michael B. Jordan is a very mid actor, and that's okay. That's okay. He is a very mid actor. He always has been. And I say this as someone who was rewatching The Wire recently. He was not a great actor he's not that good. He's okay. It's passable. But like, think about him in, oh my God, in Black Panther. This is not a safe space. That's fair, Milan. I get it. He was like 13 in The Wire. Okay, that's fair. Then Black Panther. Are you gonna tell me that as, what's his name? Killmonger? He's good? He's not. he's over exaggerative in a way that isn't, it sort of takes you out of it too much. Like, and that's okay. This is not a critic, like, everybody is not Denzel. And that's okay. Everybody's not Daniel Day-Lewis. That's okay. Everybody has their lane. Timothy Chalamet, in my opinion, is not that good of an actor. Yeah, right. Michael B. Jordan, fine as hell. Fine as hell. Everybody has their lane. And I'm totally okay. You know what I hate a lot? Black excellence. I hate black excellence. I hate the idea of black excellence, because what about black mediocrity? What about black mediocrity? Can we just, why do I gotta be excellent all the time? Why can't I just be mid? White people are mid every day. Every single day they're mid, and they be doing everything. Why can't I be mid? Michael B. Jordan can be mid. That's okay. That is alright. Even in Sinners, he's actually pretty good in Sinners. He's pretty good in Sinners. But best actor good? No. Now you can want him to win for Sinners, because black people deserve to be awarded for mediocrity in the same way that white people do. We deserve that. But you're not gonna look at this. If he loses, you're not gonna be like, and it was a tragedy. Come on now. Savannah, slow down. Savannah, slow down. Okay. I watched the same movie you watched. we watched the same. It's not giving thespian. It never gave thespian. Okay. And that's all right. What did Jen say? Is this pretty privilege? He can be mid. He's fine. Yeah, he can. Yeah, because looking like that with a body that look like that, yeah, he can be mid. Yeah. Ooh, its rewatch value is kind of low. Ooh, interesting. Because I actually want to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters, and so I think I want to rewatch it before the ceremony. So that's interesting. I wonder if I'll feel that way. Okay. I need to go eat some lunch. Okay, I'm far enough away from the incident now. I sort of talked about it earlier, but I'm gonna talk about it in detail now. I'm far enough away from it where I can like talk about it. So, I broke a chair today for the first time in my life. That's never happened to me. I was in a restaurant. Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene. Oh, hey, Drinky Daddy. Let me set the scene. So, one of my good friends is visiting right now. It's his birthday today. Shout out to Philip. It's his birthday. Um, and so we went to a cafe, like a coffee shop cafe, for his birthday that he loves. Because he used to live here. He don't live here no more. He's visiting. He's staying with us, whatever. So we go there. And we're just sitting, like, I'd eaten. We'd had some coffee. We'd been sitting there for a while, whatever. And he invited some other friends to, like, come. And so one of them got there. And I was standing up to hug them. And it's like a wood, and mind you, I've been to this coffee, I've been there a million times, so like whatever, and I've sat in their chairs a million times before. So I'm sitting in the chair, and as they're coming around the table to hug me, I'm like, so this is me sitting at the table, so like I sort of like ejected myself I ejected myself like from the table, like like I scooted the chair back, but it obviously didn't have, like, this chair has wheels. um I scooted myself away from it, and I think when I did that, I did it with so much force. Um, I don't. I think I did it with so much force, and so what happened from my experience is like it's like I was moving, and then it was almost like I blacked out for a second, and then when I sort of came to, I was like, "Why am I on the ground?" Like it was like like it was like I literally think like my mind like stopped, like went for a second, and then I like came back to it. And I was like, why am I on the ground? Why is everybody looking at me? What was that noise? Oh, oh, oh. And I was like, oh, I need to get up. And like, and it was fine. Like, it's fine. And then and then the owner, and so I got up, I just like, I don't know, I just stood up like, are you Milan said, are you relocating? I've considered it. Yes, I did. It's under consideration. Patrice and I haven't yet talked. It is under consideration. But it's like, so, and so, and then the owner came. What's that guy's name? Jeff, I think it's his name. I've met him before. And so, um, he like came and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then I like handed him the broken chair. And then I just got another one. I sat back down. It was fine. And so, so what's okay? So here's why it's horrible, because I don't think it was like, it was not me sitting in the chair that broke the chair. It was my action in the chair that broke the chair. It was that like I probably like as like I shifted it too quickly, and it was a wooden chair, and I like fucked it up. And so I think it would have happened to anybody. But being a fat person and breaking a chair, it's like, well, damn. And it's like it's gotta happen to everybody, I guess. And today was my day. We can't beat the allegation. It's like, we'll see. And it's not flipped backwards. If the chair flipped back, either way, flipping backward would have sent me to the moon. It was like a wooden chair. I mean, it sounds like the chair is, and it's fine, mind you. We continued to sit in that restaurant for another hour plus, like, so we didn't leave. But I was just like, bitch, no, why am I on the ground? Now, why am I was like literally, like, my brain, and I was like, why am I on the ground? And then I was like, oh, I'm on the ground. Oh, what? Like it's literally like, it took me a second to like, and then Philip I don't think Philip's in this line. He's downstairs though. He was like, oh, I was thinking about coming back like later this week. And I was like, I can never come back to this restaurant. That's not true. I can actually go back. On the first day of Black History Month. Oh my God. The chair basically called me a nigger. So, first day of Black History Month, under ICE occupation. So, that's what I, like, just, and then it's better now. As I was sitting there, I started to realize that, like, my underarm, like, hurt. I actually think there might be a little, like, bruise here, actually, or, like, a little knot here or something. Like, because I think, and I don't remember, but I think I had my arm, like, on the chair like this, so then I think when it went down, it like hit my like under my. So now I'm injured. Arm broke off. Need a new arm. It's getting worse. The pressure is getting worse. Things got to get better. It's fine. Okay. I'm actually fine. It doesn't hurt that bad. It did hurt as I was sitting there, and then now I'd forgotten about it, so it's like not active. Like I was just pressing on it, and it hurt a little bit, but like it's because I was touching it. I'm fine. And now I got to go back out to a restaurant again later. Not got to go to. I'm actually excited to go to this restaurant. I'm going back to a restaurant again later. I'm sitting in a booth. I can't take any chances. You break a chair, whatever. I need to go eat lunch. I felt like I was gonna break a chair. Valid. I ain't been to Hi in a minute, but valid. What's the other restaurant than people who own? Ola Arepa. That's what they own. Okay. I need to go eat lunch. Fuck Amy Klobuchar. Fuck the Minnesota DFL party. Fuck Tim Walz. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck ICE. Greg Bovino. Tom Homan. Jonathan Ross. I got a live restriction. Fuck Kamala Harris. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Barack Obama. Yeah. Yeah. Barack Obama doesn't get enough hate. Okay, Barack is fine. And he's getting finer with age, unfortunately. Barack Obama is very fine. Girl, let me look at a picture. Hold on. Let me look at my deporter daddy. Come on, yeah. The big ass ears. Fine. Okay, yeah. But does love to deport people. Yeah, Mr. Obama, very fine. Always been, as a matter of fact. Never not been. And the grayer he gets too. Yeah, that smile, this man's smile. Yeah. How old is Barack Obama? What is he? He only 64. Yeah, I'm 34. We can make something work, Brock. We yeah, we can make something work. That's okay. What am I talking about? 6'3" and plays basketball. President's looks have gone downhill since Barack Obama. That's true. Because a young Bill Clinton was also kind of fine. Hold on. That's why he was such a problem. And by a problem, I mean having sex with 22-year-olds. Um, a young Bill Clinton was kind of fine. Do you think he actually listens to music? Absolutely not. That man does not listen to the music from his playlist. Jen, did you say a young John McCain? Hold on. Hold on. I need to. Jen, oh, baby. Hold on. Okay, I'll let that go. A young Joe Biden? My God! Where? Hold on. That one picture of him with his. Hold on. Yeah, the picture with him in that red shirt where he's smiling. Yeah. As a matter of fact, yes. Donald Trump has always been ugly. You ain't, sir. We can't. You ain't even. You ain't never had nothing going for you, girl. Barack Obama would deport your family, but at least he'd be fine doing it. At least. At least she'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Obama, my family. Oh, you deported them. Show me a little something, But I don't even know how we got here. I need to go eat lunch because what the fuck? I need to go eat lunch and feed my screaming ass cat. Y'all probably can't hear him, but this nigga is screaming his head off. Thanks for being here. I